Daniel and the Lion's Den. Long ago, there stood a powerful kingdom called Babylon. It ruled vast lands and countless people, and was known for its great strength. King Darius was a ruler who valued law and order above all else. In his palace gathered many officials who helped govern the kingdom. Among all those officials, Daniel was one especially trusted by the king. He was wise and honest, and he handled every matter with fairness. The king highly valued Daniel's faithfulness and entrusted him with important responsibilities. People could sense an unshakable faith and integrity in Daniel's life. However, not everyone rejoiced in Daniel's success. Some officials grew jealous of his abilities and the king's favor toward him. They began searching for a way to remove Daniel, yet they could find no fault in his actions or his work. In the end, they decided to target Daniel's faith. They knew that Daniel prayed to God every single day without fail. Pretending to act for the king's honor, they devised a clever scheme. Though carried out quietly, it held a very dangerous trap. The officials proposed a new law to the king. For 30 days, no one was to pray to any god or person except the king. Unaware of their true intentions, the king signed the decree. Once proclaimed, the law of the king could not be undone. Daniel soon heard that the new law had been announced. He immediately understood that it was aimed at him. Yet he did not hide his faith out of fear. Daniel chose to remain faithful and trust God to the very end. Just as he always had, Daniel went up to his room. By the open window facing Jerusalem, he quietly knelt down. He prayed with the awareness that he stood before God, not before people. On his face was not fear, but a deep and steady peace. The officials who saw Daniel praying rushed straight to the king. They accused Daniel of breaking the king's law. Hearing this, King Darius was greatly distressed. Only then did he realize that he had fallen into their trap. All day long, the king searched for a way to save Daniel, but the law had already been proclaimed and was in force. As time passed, the king's face grew darker with sorrow. At last, he was forced to make a painful decision. Daniel was finally taken to the lion's den. With a voice full of sorrow and concern, the king spoke to him. "May the God you serve continually rescue you." The entrance to the den was sealed tightly with a large stone. That night, King Darius could not sleep. Food and music brought him no comfort at all. His thoughts remained with Daniel in the lion's den. The night passed slowly, heavy with worry. Inside the lion's den, God was with Daniel. God sent an angel to shut the mouths of the lions. The lions did not harm Daniel and lay quietly beside him. Even in the darkness, God's protection was clearly revealed. At dawn, the king hurried to the lion's den. With a trembling voice, he called out Daniel's name. After a moment, a clear answer came from inside the den. Daniel was alive, praising his God. Daniel was lifted safely out of the lion's den. Not a single wound was found on his body. The king and the people witnessed this astonishing sight. No one could deny the power of God. The officials who had falsely accused Daniel were brought before the king. Because of their own scheme, they were thrown into the lion's den. This time, God did not shut the mouths of the lions. The den became a place that revealed the end of evil hearts and false plans. King Darius issued a new decree throughout the entire kingdom. He commanded the people to fear and honor the God of Daniel. He declared that this God is living and reigns forever. The message spread throughout the land. After this, Daniel continued to serve the kingdom with wisdom and faithfulness. He trusted God more than human approval. His very life became a testimony of faith. Through Daniel, many people saw an example of true faith. The story of Daniel and the lion's den has been told for generations. It teaches us that faith is stronger than fear. It promises that God is with those who trust in Him in every situation. This truth is still alive for us today.